Okay, that's probably fine. I think I'm just gonna do practice before I actually get into explaining things. Yeah, I did a jump. I knew that I was. I didn't play that correctly. Getting P-speed is so dumb. What's up, John? That was dumb. If you have any questions about this fight, please feel free to ask them, because I'm attempting to do like a live Q&A sort of thing to like make this a resource for people, both for speedrunning and for casual playthroughs. I don't know if you're doing Casio or have played it. You wouldn't even know what to ask, gotcha. That's fair. Right now I'm just going for an initial, just a first clear to de-rust playing this fight, because I played this differently from the Mega Fennel. I have different strats I implement. I timed that very wrong. You're so far from this fight, gotcha. Do you plan on doing Casio at some point? Because I feel like this is something that you would do eventually. I did that incorrectly. What's your goal for the year? Gotcha. Alright, that's one. Let's see if we can get a streak going. That was really bad. Yep, okay. Yo, the double camera actually getting used. What's up, Zed? Alright, well, that's one clear. I'll add it. Alright, I just wanted to get a single clear done for a baseline for how I want to play this. I think I could start thinking about how I want to explain each phase. Start of the fight, land. The start of the fight you can do pretty much the same. The first 2 hits, basically. That's a guaranteed hit. And that little jump that I do, I'm gonna intentionally die. So that's a guaranteed hit. Trying to figure out how to explain this. Guaranteed hit. Do a full jump no matter what. And then you're guaranteed to get a second hit. Because either you can jump over the either you can jump over her stomp, or you get her in a chain of the swipes. Also, how do you think the double camera setup looks? Like, does it look... Get a jump. Actually, I wasn't there. I played it correctly. Got a jump. Good. I'm at 18 or 19. Nice. Cool. You're always a fan of hand cams for stuff like this. You prefer them over input displays. I'm not gonna count that, or I was gonna say I'm not gonna count that attempt as an attempt because I want to get this thing updated. Yeah, I still don't have any graphics, but I need to work that out. I'm not gonna count that one. So you always full jump there, and then you can hit her off with a stomp, or you can hit her when she does the sword attack. Okay. So, run, get a hit, full jump, can land after she does a sword swing. That's the guaranteed 2 hits that you should always go for. Full jump. Trying to think of how I want to explain the, So you do like kind of like a crescent sort of jump. After she swipes. Oh, let me get this. Like you always do these sort of crescent jumps. Because that allows you to get close. That allows you to get close to Fennel without really getting punished for it. The first one you have to do a bit differently because you're not in a great position, but otherwise you crescent away. That was dumb. But yeah, doing... Oh yeah, this is the easy version. Or rather the original fight. Let's say... I was gonna say that was almost phase 2. Playing well. Also, the dash attack is a guaranteed hit. Well, depending on distance and if you're in a good position, you can get a guaranteed hit off of it. So this is a bad situation. That was a bad position. That was entirely my fault. Theoretically, you don't throw her in the corner. Yeah, with that, you can just do a full jump over instead of landing on her. And it's pretty easy to see when she slashes, so you can do a fast fall. Missed the jump. That was the only thing I did wrong there. But yeah, I think the crescent sort of jump that I'm doing is like crucial to getting the sword swipe chain, because that allows you to get the easy in between hits. Yeah, I screwed that up. I did the left right there, that screwed me. It's been 10 days since an ASCII run's been submitted. That's kind of shocking. In this situation, if she's in the corner, you just dodge the lightning. Like, that's the best thing you can do. The corner is the absolute worst position for her to be in, so you would just dodge the lightning. Like, take this part slowly. Play it safe. Like that, you just want to take it slow. That's also one thing about that phase, is getting her... Like, if she's in the corner when you hit her, you need to not go for her. You need to let her come to you. Letting Fennel come to you every so often is the play. Dodging the lightning is not hard. As long as you're not, like, you don't want to dodge the lightning, or you don't want to be fixated on what the lightning is doing. Or what Fennel's doing. Sorry, I can't speak right now. Also, third clear. I might make some save states for the fight as well. Maybe like one per phase. Also, corner fighting is really hard to do. Like, I don't recommend doing that. It doesn't make sense when you're learning the fight to do corner fighting. Like, you want to be moving around a little bit more. that a jump? That was entirely my fault. I should also explain how to do the, that final phase. Although, I'll probably get to that after I get some more runs going. Pressing jumps. I mean, obviously you wouldn't want to press and jump into the lightning. That's obviously not a good idea. But when you're playing Phase 1, you want to be really close to Fennel basically the entire time. I mean, obviously, except when she's jumping. I need to make a save state for this part. And that's it. That final phase is, well, for a first clear, or for a first, like, playthrough of this, the final phase is obviously going to be the most nerve-wracking, but it's also the easiest. It's very much the easiest fight in this, or easiest phase in the fight. You have so much leniency with it. The RNG is, I mean, obviously there's RNG with the lightning, but you're not really dealing with anything else. You don't have to deal with what attack she's going to do. You don't have to deal with where she's going to go. She jumps. You don't have to worry about any of that. The only RNG aspect is the lightning, but that's mostly dodgeable. And the time that she takes to do another attack is also constant. So there's not a random amount of time. Good one. I updated this counter, right? Yeah. I'm gonna just make a save state for the final phase. I put myself in that position. And that's where that strat can go wrong. Dodging the spinning sword into the jump is like a whole thing in itself, and I gotta figure out how exactly I want to articulate that. But I think that'll require like live questions. I forgot I was in phase 1 for a second. Good job. That was perfect. I want to make a save state. That was like probably 19. I was so ready to fucking make a save state. Oh my god. I think that was mostly my fault. I didn't play that properly. Keep doing the crescent jumps. The dash... If she's dashing and on like the other side of the screen, it's very easy to dodge and get a hit on. Like right here, she could start dashing. The position was very slightly off, so I couldn't get a hit the first time, but the second time it lined up. I'm gonna play this riskier. Does I feel like it? Cool. I'll pause it. Why is the final boss in such a cool hack name after a herb? It's from a different game. Probably because they were inspired by it for some reason. Or like, something about it was interesting to them. 5 clears. I also now have a save state for the final phase. Let's see if I can get 2 in a row. Trying to get an idea of like judging dash distance. I kinda want her to dash. Do it. Not there. Dash. If you want to hit her after she's dashing, you need to like read the dash to like 2 things ahead. So when she's going, you're a nerd. When she's going, she like does like jumps. You might be able to actually let me see if it like makes sense. So she's here. She's gonna go from here to here to here to here really quickly. And you need to line up where she's going to be 2 like things away from where she currently is. So if Mario is my right hand and Fennel's my left hand, she's gonna like move 1, 2, and you need to jump as she's dashing. When you see that she's dashing, you need to jump where she does the second, like after she's done dashing twice, that's where you want to land on her, and you want to land opposite the direction she's going. So if she's going right, you want to be landing on her left side. Someone was able to help your X animation. Nice. That's awesome. But yeah, when she's like dashing right, you want to land on her left side. When she's dashing left, you want to land on her right side, because that allows you to be set up in a position to where you're less likely to die. Middle is sometimes okay, but you might be screwed to jump, and landing on the side that she's going towards on her body most of the time screws you. See if I can get an example of the dash again. Well, I just screwed it up. I need to disable preview. I'm gonna do this again just to get it going. I was hoping she would dash there. 1, 2, and you see how I landed on her left side? That's where you want to be when she's dashing. So you like read two steps in advance, and then land on the side opposite of where she's going. Easy to chain jumps with the crescents. If she lightnings, you just try to dodge the lightning. Rather than going for the hit, you want to... If you can get the hit and dodge the lightning, that's preferable, but obviously you want to not get hit by lightning. I think the quick crescent jumps in this phase are really helpful. And that time I jumped late, but I knew that I was able to dodge the dash because of how I timed it. And then dodging that is like the hardest part of the fight. So an indication for her stop. Actually, let's explain some of the tells. When she raises her hand, well, I mean, this is an obvious tell. You can see the lightning flash the first time, and then it strikes. So here. So you can see that the lightning gets indicated the first time, and that's where it's going to land. Second time, it's going to actually strike. Second time, it actually strikes. That's like the, I mean, that's like the most obvious attack. The swipe, I think Mr. Mighty Mouse noticed this, and I didn't notice it. But you can kind of tell that like her hands are together, so she's holding the sword with both hands when she swipes, so swipe, swipe. The dash is indicated by the blue color palette, so you can see... So you can see right here that when she's blue, that's indicating that she's dashing. And she will dash until she's within range to either swipe or do a jump. I don't think she'll ever go into lightning after dashing. I'm pretty sure that's not possible. I think she'll always swipe or jump after dashing. Well, I mean, she can... After a dash, she will either dash again, depending on distance, but once she's within range, she will either swipe or jump. Those are the only actions she can do after dashing. But I really think the, doing, like, the quick crescent jumps and being able to watch out, like, for that, where she stomps. Like, if you notice that she stomps, which the stomp is indicated by... I wanna, like... It's a dash, god damn it. Am I gonna dodge this? No, I'm not. Alright, I kinda wanna demonstrate this. So, she's not doing it. I'm trying to get her to fucking jump, dude. Of course, as soon as she jumps, I don't catch it. Alright, well, I need to get this to, like, show up. Alright, here we go. So, she does this little crouch. And that lasts for, like, I think 6-ish frames. You know, she crouches for, like, 1/10 of a second, and then... Or 60 frames. Yeah, so it's, like, I think 1/10 of a second that she actually displays her crouch. That's the tell for that attack. But you honestly shouldn't ever have to read it. Well, I can't say that. If you're reading that and that's the decision, like in the moment decision you're making, you shouldn't be using that. Like, it's usable, but most of the time you're just saying, is she swiping her sword? Okay, I can attack normally. Is she sending lightning? If so, I can attack normally. If she's dashing, okay, I can just set myself in a good position. If she's not doing any of those, she's stomping. Which the other ones are a lot more easy to tell for. Like, you can notice just a little bit of delay while she's thinking of what her next attack is. That was mistimed because she was within range. She also could have jumped at that point in time. Actually, I don't know. But the sword was very expected. And, like, I knew that I had done that wrong. I should have jumped further. Because what I did was put myself in a position of guaranteed death. That jump. You should also... Something else that you should do in this fight is you should recognize what can possibly kill you in the situation that you're in. Like, in that situation, I knew that bad lightning could have killed me. And I had good lightning, I just didn't keep my position on Fennel properly. It's mainly useful for for the second phase, when she has the spinning sword. That was too close within stomp range for that. Also, fun fact, you can just stand inside of her. So the reason I died there was getting a low hit on Fennel, because her hitbox, or the area that you're able to hit her, isn't just, like, a single height. Like, you can hit... Like, you can land on a box, basically. Or, like, land within a box and you're safe. But not landing on the top of the box most of the time is deadly because of the sword. Because the sword swipe is slightly, the sword swipe is slightly lower than the top of her, head hitbox. So if you're just jumping directly on her head, you're always going to get that high hit. But if you're coming in at an angle, that's where things can get dicey. I did that completely incorrectly. There, I got lucky. And like, I can freely admit that I got lucky. Oh, we won this phase. I did that wrong, that's fine. Trying to think of what else I want to explain for phase 1, or just like the overall fight. I think the number one thing to take away from doing the phase 1 is doing like these crescent little jumps. And you're basically doing the opposite of a regrab. It's kind of weird, because it's a move that isn't normally done in like Casio, where you do a full jump into a release. It's a very different movement. Because normally you want to like, normally in Casio you land, like do a soft jump and then hold. But this requires a hard jump and then no hold. I mean, sometimes you need to regrab, but I'll also mention that you do kind of regrab. After you, like, right before you land on her, you want to do a little regrab. And if you're looking at a tutorial for how to play this fight, I don't think I need to explain what a regrab is. Really? Okay, whatever. As for, like, the general attacks, you want to regrab off of the dash. Actually focus for this. You want to hold jump after the dash. Most of the time with the lightning, you want to hold jump. Most of the time with jump, you want the stomp attack, you want to let go. In phase... Oh, this is actually a thing to differentiate. In phase 1, you tend to want to hold jump after the swings. The lightning is situational, I'd say. However, in phase 2, did that wrong. In phase 2, you actually don't want to hold jump after the sword swipes. Well, if you're going for the hit in between her... Yeah, So I think I'll actually have to explain that a bit more in depth with phase 1 or phase 2 explicitly. I think I covered most of phase 0 or phase 1 where she doesn't have the spinning sword. Yeah, so key takeaways for phase 1 or just the overall fight. Know the tells. Yeah, know the tells. Know when to hold jump and when not to hold jump. So for dashes and sword swipes in the first phase, you want to do it, and for stomps, you don't want to hold jump and these are all like most of the time. Obviously, there's like situations where you'd want to do the opposite. It's a bit situational dependent. As for the lightning, you tend to want to hold it, but you can do whatever. It most of the time doesn't matter. I tend to hold it for lightning, but I think it's the more situational one. It also depends on when you hit her during the lightning phase. So if you're hitting her like as she's spawning it, like you might want to. You don't need to hold it, but if you're doing it at the very end, you're probably gonna want to hold it. But again, situational. Second phase. Phase 2, the holds are still basically the same except for the, also I can update the clear counter, and I'll see if I can get another clear, because I kind of want to get a streak of like 2, that'd be kind of sick. Fuck that up. That's fine. So going into more explicit phase 2 strats, the main so the main like added thing with phase 2 is the fucking sword swipe or the spinning sword attack. That's like the main added difference with this part of the fight. Let me adjust my camera a little bit. Okay, that's probably fine. The main difference with phase 2 is the spinning sword attack. Everything else is unchanged. That. Spinning sword. Also, be wary of the spinning sword's hitbox. So, the spinning sword's hitbox isn't dependent on the sword. It is the entire range around... Actually, I don't even know if you can see my mouse cursor. I think that might be helpful for this. Okay. So you can see like this red pixel over here. This is also a part of the hitbox. Be wary that the hitbox for this is insanely large. Like, think the stomp. Like, think about as large as the stomp. It's, like, obviously a little bit different, but it's very, very large. And you need to be weary of that when you're dealing with this fight. It's like the red pixel kills you. Just, like, just imagine, like, the length of the sword at its furthest position. And draw a little rectangle. So this entire area just kills you. And it goes... Excuse me, it goes all the way into the ground, and it goes, I think, a little bit above her... Not above her head, but... I think the height is, like, slightly... No, the height isn't actually under. It is slightly above her head. But once the hitbox ends, you can land on her head. Or once the... So you can see here, like... Actually, this is probably the better example for the hitbox. Here's a corner, make a rectangle. That's what you're dealing with. That's effectively the hitbox. I didn't mean to unpause like that. I meant to... As soon as she lands, you're safe. As soon... I missed, but... As soon as she lands, I'm safe. And I can get a hit. I mean, obviously she jumps into me, but I wasn't explicitly going for a hit and be able to survive. I was just demonstrating proof of concept that that works. And doing something like that, the crescent doesn't work in this, or at least for after the second swipe. You're fucked if you do that. It's just not gonna work. You don't want to do that. It only works if you want to get the... So you can still get the attack, you can still get the hit in between swipes, if you do like the crescent jump, but you can do it that way, but it's not like perfect. Yeah, so that's the big main new thing with this phase. Everything else is unchanged. So everything that you learned from phase 1 with dealing with lightning, dealing with dashes, dealing with the stomp, well actually not really the stomp, but those two things, and getting the hit on her between the first and second sword swipes, those all still apply to this phase, and you don't need to relearn those. The key difference is, I mean, obviously she has like this new attack. Yeah, so there I landed on her, tried landing on her before the attack was finished. So that killed me. But like right there, I landed before it finished. There I landed, or attempted landing too early. So that's just showing like kind of what can go wrong. That was a hit you should never go for. I don't know why I did that. I need to set a situation up where I'm guaranteed to get the worst combo in this fight. Note that I'm doing this from the save state, so it's not even a legit... I mean, well, I still beat the end of it, but that's not like an actual clear. Yeah, so the main problem with phase 2 is the spinning sword into stomp. I think I'm actually gonna play in low speed without sound, because otherwise it's gonna sound atrocious. Maybe at 50%. I kind of want to get her to I want her to do an immediate swipe. So I don't even have rewind enabled, which kind of blows, so I can't really demonstrate this perfectly. So ideally she could swipe there, but... I'm trying to get her to swipe. So, something with this to survive the swipe into Stomp, this is a move that I try to do every single time I'm in this situation. You're getting a hit off, and you have potential to survive it. When she's doing this attack, whatever direction she's going, you like the dash, whatever direction she's going, you want to land on her opposite side. So I'm gonna unpause this. So I missed, which is actually totally fine. Because if you miss, you're on the side where you're already away from her. So if she jumps there, I would have been fine. But ideally, see how I landed like right on her left side? Now I might get fucked by the lightning. No, I'm fine. But that's the whole like thing with this fight, is being able to land on the side that the opposite side from where she's coming from. Because if you land in the middle, you might survive if you get lucky. It's not actually RNG, but like it's very situational dependent. By middle, I mean like the little bit where her head is. Right side is like more her arm. Left side is more like the skirt, or the dress, whatever you want to call it. That's a dress. I'm stupid. Is your
camera on?
Yeah, I can turn it off if you want. No, I think I have it off. Yeah, I have it off.
I just have to. It's fine. Because I just wanted to.
I mean, I don't think you're even in shot.
I know, but I'm gonna get down.
Okay.
I want to fucking get. I just want to get down.
Okay, that's fine. Anyway. So that's like the big thing that you're trying to do in this situation, is making sure that so see how I landed on the left side? Now in that situation, I landed too late, and that's the only thing that could have killed me there, is landing too late. Ideally, you land like a couple frames, maybe not a couple frames, but you land very shortly after she touches the ground. That was my fault. Trying to get her to do the swipe. Kind of want you to do the swipe. But like even like that, if you miss her, that you're better off missing. That I turned around and screwed myself. If you want the hit, you need to land on the side that she's not, or the opposite side that she's coming from. And landing it is obviously fairly difficult, but that's like the big thing you have to do. No, that's the wrong save state. So you land on her opposite side, and then that gives you an opportunity for her to jump, or to do her stomp, and you'll still live it. That, I landed a few frames too early. So I'll try to get it in regular speed. So like I missed, like I overshot a little bit, but both times, well, the second time I just didn't press the jump button and I died for that. You're better off missing entirely, like overshooting her. And I would say for people like first learning this fight, I would say just try worrying about missing her instead of worrying about getting the quicker hits. Because getting the hit is very difficult. Also, you can play the third phase pretty greedily, but that's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to show you how to play the fight greedy and for speed, not entirely for speed strats, although that's kind of what some of this is just inherently it goes fast, such as the landing on the correct side when she does the spinning sword. I think a better way to demonstrate, like, so when she does the swipe, you're basically just doing like a full jump around her. Like, I'm just demonstrating it with Mario right now. Well, I need her to not do. Like, you can just do a full ass jump around her, and you'll be plenty far away. I'm trying to get her to do this sword attack again. Like, you can just do a full jump around her. Most of the time, you can just do a full jump. I think your positioning just has to be really bad in order for you to not make it. I'll do a little bit of more attempts, just for fun. So the guaranteed hit. Play crescents in the beginning. And this allows you to chain a bunch of quick, easy hits. Dash, read her position. Jump where you know she's gonna land. Dash, jump where you know she's gonna land. Land on the, ideally the side that opposite of where she's coming from. And if you miss, that's totally fine. If you overshoot it, you're fine. And if you undershoot it, then if you undershoot it, then you're only really gonna die to the stomp. And if you die to the stomp, then that's, yes, it's RNG, but it's possible to mitigate. So if you landed it not perfectly, then that's like partly the player's fault. I mean, obviously you got unlucky and could have survived if she was nice, but you can do like a full jump around that. And if she's going in the corner like that, I'd say just hope. Like, you tend to not want to set yourself into that position to begin with, but if you get in that position, like, most of the time you don't want to get in that position to begin with, because playing in the corner when you don't fully understand how the fight works is very difficult. And by corner fighting, I mean staying right here the entire time. Like, I don't mean like, because like right now I'm not really corner fighting. I'm staying I'm staying a few tiles in. Like, my average position when I'm fighting her right now is a few tiles away from the side. Going in corners is really only useful for lining up the dash response. That was not a good hit to go for. You tend to not want to go for hits immediately after she stomps, unless that's a direction you already have momentum in, and you land on the side. Like, if she's jumping right, you want to land on her right side. Or when she's stomping, rather. I should also mention that when you're doing the crescent jumps and chaining the sword hits, you can jump anywhere on her, it doesn't really matter. Like, right now, this doesn't matter at all. You can just do whatever you want, you're fine. You can jump over just fine. Something that I tend to do is if you're in a bad position in the second phase with the first swipe, and you can't really go for an easy hit, just stay off the ground. That's another thing with this fight. You wanna be very much on your feet, or you wanna very much be not on your feet. You wanna be in the air a lot. Mario has a ton of air mobility. You want to make use of it, because on the ground it's like you have to like build up momentum and you have to run. And if you're only ever jumping to get on her and not to like dodge things, I'm like trying to get an example of this, but but like you can see how how much longer that fight took when I was just staying on my feet most of the time. If I'm constantly in the air getting jumps in, I'm much more likely to get further in the fight than a jump. Landed on the right side, so Stomp wouldn't have killed me. Read the dash. Distances myself properly. So got the kill. Alright, that's 7. Not counting this as a buff. For the streak. Because I wasn't in game yet. A jump. I screwed that up. Unfortunate. I'm actually gonna change this to. Just change this to best state. You're jumping directly above her. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Because I can clarify things. Like clarify what I'm doing. Like, if you want me to talk about a specific phase of the fight. Well, actually, I'll be getting to phase 3 shortly. Should be 19 or 20. Yep. Nice one. You guessed the first phase. Yeah, I can re-explain that. Also, I'll also say that counting hits is sometimes helpful. It has its pros and cons. The pro is being able to play riskier. Nice one. Counting hits allows you to play riskier, so if you know you're at 9 hits, you can go for a really, what would most of the time be a very dumb or greedy hit, but it's not greedy because she goes to the phase transition. So if you know that she's at 9, and there might be a situation where you would die, but if you get the hit, then she goes into the transition, and it doesn't matter. That's like the one real benefit. The con is maybe being more nervous, being like, oh my god, I'm at 28 hits or something, and being like, I only need 2 more, but oh my god, I'm 2 away, and then you get nervous and then die. I almost walked right into that. That was funny. Oh yeah, this is never a position you want to be in. Come here, Fennel. I played enough Omega Fennel to be able to deal with this. Just come closer. That killed me? Okay, that's fine. Oh yeah, so the jumping directly above her. I'm doing a thing where I'm doing like these crescent jumps. In order to get the height I need in order to dodge a potential jump, but if I see that she does a swipe, then I let go of the jump button. So it's kind of like a reverse regrab, where you're going for the full height, but you want to fall fast. So you're going for a full height jump. You're going for a full height jump into a fast fall. You go for a fast fall onto the head into a regrab off of it. And I've already explained the wanting to hold jump off the head versus wanting to let go of it. Also, I'll be putting this on YouTube at some point.
You got a minute or something? I have to tell you real quick.
Let me just...
It'll take like 1 minute.
Yeah, I got a kill. I'm gonna see if I can chain it into a second one. This doesn't count. That one absolutely does. I fucking suck. Alright, I'll be back in 1 sec. Alright, I'm back. Guess that's 8.
Told him my Among Us strategy.
No, not a Mogus.
Oh shit, I still have
Nice. Yeah, I think I should probably have explained this phase now, which is phase 3. So, the only thing with phase 3 is that it's just constant lightning. Fennel doesn't really ever attack. It takes a lot of time for her to attack. I think it's a certain number of strikes. 1, 2, 3. Swipes on the 4th. Well, actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then she swipes. 1, 2, 3, 4, swipes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then she swipes 1, 2, 3. It would be a 3 if I had fucking made it. So that's... There's not really much to explain with this fight, with this section, because... Theoretically, when you get here your first time, you're going to be very nervous. And you're going to be like, oh my god, what's happening? And the constant lightning very much freaks you out. The only thing I can say, and it obviously doesn't really help that much, but just remain calm is the only thing I can say with this. Because, like, dodging the lightning isn't hard. I'm just kind of screwing around. Oh, that was a really bad timing. Like, I can just go over here, go over here. I'm just having a good time, just dodging lightning. Like, it's not the most difficult thing in the world to do. Note that the lightning is partially random, but it has a focus on Mario. So the lightning is going to be more centralized on Mario, but it has a random range and, like, spread. That's where the RNG comes in. So it's going to be somewhat close to Mario, but the range is random, and that's what you have to deal with in this part. Otherwise, you can just dodge pretty easily. That was dumb. And I can give my, I have a method for doing this. My strategy for this, it's mostly consistent, and it doesn't really hurt, or it's consistent and it's fairly quick, so you can get it over with. I do 4, 3, and 3. Now you might be asking, what the fuck does that mean? That's the title screen. I should probably show this from, like, entering the phase, because it's dependent on when you enter and how you enter. And I might get an edge case where my strat doesn't really apply. So as soon as she goes to that transition, you want to hit her 4 times. Let her do her swipe. Hit her 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Let her do her swipe. Hit her 1 time. Hit her 2 times. Hit her 3 times, and then you're done. And as soon as she shows her, like, defeated state or whatever, it'll probably be like one more thing of lightning, and then you'll be done. So there's nothing really to worry about after the fact. It's hard to get a 30-hit death. I will say that. It's not completely out of the question, and I know that people have gotten that, and I feel very sorry for them. But 30-hit death is hard. I would say don't fear that. 29 hit deaths are much more common. I had 2 29 hit deaths before I got this the first time. That was brutal. Although it was like, I got my 2 29s and the clear within the span of like 15 minutes. That was fun. Let me check. Okay, but yeah, that's really the only thing. So as soon as she becomes active, you can go for 4 hits. Let her swipe her sword. Go for 3. 1, 2, 3. Let her swipe her sword. 1, 2, 3. Done. That's theoretically how that part of the fight is supposed to go. 1, 2, 3. Done. Or 4, 3, 3. You do the 4 first because it's the very start, and that gives you the most amount of time to get hits. You can do this in 5-5. I don't recommend that for a first playthrough. I don't even recommend it for speedruns, honestly. I would say, or doing it like consistently, I would say go for 4-3-3 because it gives you the most amount of breathing room to do this. Also, I can probably turn my webcam back on. It gives you the most amount of breathing room in order to do it while also being fairly it's fairly consistent, gives you breathing room, it's pretty fast. Like, I'll try to demonstrate 5-5. Something like that can also happen if you go for 5-5, where you get hit, where you get a 29 hit death, which is why I don't recommend it. And 5-5 requires hitting her like while in between the first and second sword swipes. So that's why I don't recommend it, because you're not really in a good position to do the crescent jumps. Sometimes you are, it's lightning dependent, but I just recommend doing 4-3-3 because, again, consistency. I kind of want to set up a situation where you might think you're fucked. Because this is a case that can go. I need to get her. I need to get her, like, right in the corner. Okay, so when she's in the corner like this, my 4-3-3 only really applies when she's closer to the center. So okay, so she's, like, direct corner. In this situation, you don't go for hits. All you need to do here is dodge lightning. All you want to do in this situation is dodge lightning. I would say from the very corner, you want to wait 2, like, cycles before you start going for hits again. Or trying to chain quick hits. Yeah, something like that. Like, you really want to... Because if I'm going for hits, I have to worry about all that lightning. I got insanely lucky there, but... How the fuck did I not die? But yeah, like, I should have died way earlier, but doing that is going to set you up for failure. You don't want to set yourself up like that. Now, and this is also, again, where counting hits can be beneficial, because this can make you say, okay, I don't want to hit her when she's, like, right in the corner. I want to try to hit her close to the center of the map. Obviously, that gets a little bit more getting used to and, like, understanding of the fight. But it can be beneficial. But yeah, like, she's in the corner again, I'm gonna wait. I'm playing it safe. This phase is all about taking it slow, playing it safe, and not falling directly inside of her. Because that's just guaranteed death. That's, like, worst case scenario, is getting her in the very corner. At that point, you want to bait out, or not bait out, because she doesn't respond to your inputs, really. She only responds to what direction you're on. It's 4 strikes of lightning. I don't know if you can see it, but 4 strikes of lightning, and then she swipes. So, if she's in the corner, you need to play it safe. And if she's not in the corner, you can do 4, wait for her to come over, 1, 2, 3, dodge, 1, 2, 3. And then you're good. I'll also say for that part, okay, I'm not being an idiot with this. What you're doing is you're basically doing like figure eights. But you can like kind of notice like the pattern that I was going with, where I was just going like jump, I jump, land, jump, land, jump, land, jump, land. I was just doing that constantly, and wherever she swipes, I move along with it and just adjust my figure eight to be around that position to land hits. Again, 4 to 3, 3. I don't know what else would be good to mention. I think I covered most of what I wanted to. Let me just check on some things real quick. Okay. But yeah, that's like effectively what you want to do. I covered. I'm just trying to think of like what else there is to cover with this fight. There's. I talked like the general like overview of the fight and how it works. Talked about holding versus not holding jump. Methods for getting hits versus dodging hits. Talked about the swipe into stomp for phase 2. Talked about 4-3-3. Talked about corners in the final phase. I talked about the differences between phase 1 and phase 2. I would say this is all that I wanted to cover regarding how this fight works and behaves in terms of like how to beat Pardon or Fennel. These are some things that you can do. I guess I'll just do some clears for a little bit. I would say now would be like if there are people in chat that want to ask questions, even if they're not like interested in beating the fight themselves. Like if you have questions about like how it works, I'd be more than happy to go over things, because this is like if this is going on YouTube, I want there to be some like Q&A going on to answer some like things that might not make sense initially or whatever. I think for now I'll just go for a couple more clears, and if I don't get any questions, I'll just I think I'll just move on to doing some Minecraft runs, because feeling good about that. What's my favorite color? Purple. Thank you for asking. Purple is a dope color. And by questions, I would mean regarding the fight, but I want to try to end with 10 clears by the end of the night. And I'll try to, like, commentate the, actually, I'm gonna start over and commentate the fight, basically. You get a free hit, full jump, you can either dodge the stomp, or you can chain into the, sword hits. Right now I'm just chaining. Instead of jump. One, two, 3, 4. Let her swing. 1, 2, 3. Let her swing. 1, 2, 3. See if I can get... I just want to get 2 in a row one time. That'd be kind of sick. Guaranteed hit at the start. You can chain it into landing after in between the 2 sword swipes. Swing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2 in a row. Let's go. Alright, I'll see if I can go for a third. Solid, thanks. I'll go for 3. Raz, did you have any questions regarding the fight? Like, anything? Okay, well, there goes the streak. Got 2 in a row, though. At least one time during the stream. I'm pretty happy with that. I'd say if there's no questions, I can probably end this off. Yeah, I didn't even make it past the first phase. Fucking garbage. Yeah, if there's no additional questions, you feel pretty informed? Okay. I wanted to make it as, like, informative as possible and, like, cover it in a decent order, like, from, like, general fight info to Phase 1 explicitly, Phase 2, Phase 3, and just, like, an overall wrap-up. And this hour and 30-minute video of information on this fight, I think that's probably substantive enough for people to reference if they need it. And I think also part of it is case studies. Something that I think I'll end off with this as well. Sorry for not watching the gameplay, Beb. Only for the background sound. You're fine. I'll end off with this though. You need to recognize when you're dying to RNG versus when you're dying to you not mitigating the RNG to begin with. Because if this fight was solely RNG, I wouldn't have 2 clears in a row. Like, that's just a thing. The whole idea of this fight is taking some core concepts and mitigating the problems with it. And doing things that can work fairly consistently. That's the whole point of this fight. Like, yeah, 10 clears and 2 in a row with an hour and a half is like, it's not just RNG, it's a lot of the mitigation of it. It's why I'm able to do it. And also, I mean, however many hours of practice I have playing both this and Omega Fennel. Also, Omega Fennel is like so much harder that this just feels easy now. But yeah, you need to recognize when you died to yourself being bad versus when you died to the boss being bad. And something that I never ended up doing, but it might work better for you as like a streamer or as a player. If you're recording or streaming, watch your VODs. Watch back your gameplay and see what am I doing wrong, what is the boss doing. Take those as case studies and learn from it. And if you're not seeing a pattern, come to me and ask, because I know a decent amount of how this fight works. And see what, like, fundamentally are you doing wrong. Because most likely, there's something fundamentally wrong. I mean, obviously, there are going to be cases where you get screwed by RNG. It happens. It's the nature of this fight. I get screwed by RNG all the time. But it's taking those instances and differentiating the two and saying, okay, it was to me being bad. Why was I bad, and what could I have done in that situation? And also recognizing on the spot... recognizing on the spot what can kill me, what is the best opportunity for me to stay alive, and obviously developing that takes time. But being able to slowly build that and recognize it over time is going to make you much better at this fight. And seriously, I would recommend getting through phase 1 as quickly as you can. Doing like the crescent jumps is very good because that allows you to get through it very quickly so that you can get more attempts at phase 2, more attempts at what you may consider as the hard stuff, getting deeper into the fight, getting more deep attempts. Because odds are if you keep dying in phase 1, you're not going to be ready for phase 2 when it eventually comes. So, I mean, that honestly sounds kind of stupid, but phase 1 consistency matters. I'll say that. And if you're able to develop that, then the fight will become much easier. It may not become easier, but being able to what you may consider rolling the dice for the later phases, getting more attempts at that is going to give you more chances to win. And again, as for phase 3, you just gotta take it easy and remain calm, because it is arguably the easiest phase. There is the least amount of RNG involved with that phase. It is all about... like, the whole intent of it is to get your nerves up. And it does its job well. Especially when you're playing it for the first time. But if you're able to remain calm and know how to dodge your lightning, you'll be set. I think that's all I wanted to mention. Also, if you want to get into Omega Fennel, please don't. Omega Fennel is not good. Actually, I can't say that. I enjoy Omega Fennel, but... yeah. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for the, how to beat Omega Fennel part of the stream. I think I'll move on to Minecraft after my computer decides to be decent.